Hello, welcome to the first episode of the How to Make an Undertale or Deltarune Fangame in Gamemaker Studio 2. It's pretty easy, and this is definitely a beginner's tutorial, and by the end you'll be able to create something like Undertale, or Don't Forget, or maybe even Undertale Yellow, something like that. Okay, so first you just want to look at Gamemaker Studio, and then you go here, download, then it should download. I already have it installed though. It is right here. So you get it installed, all you want to do is just go to new and press new. Then you go to new blank and then the project name. So for this I'm gonna let's just call it Undertale Fangame. Cool. So let me explain what this whole workspace. So this is where all the assets are, so where everything basically is, like all the files of the project. This will tell you the details of everything in the project. So for example, this room, it tells me details about that. Rooms are pretty simple. They're basically where everything lives, like where all the objects are, where, yeah, and so what are objects? Objects are these. So, objects basically have a sprite to them, which is basically like an image, and then they have specific code that tells them what they can do. So, for example, walk around the room, or be allowed to be controlled or something. So for example, we'll call this one _O and then player, because this is going to be the player, whether it's Frisk from Undertale or Chris from Deltarune or some other character, I don't know, your choice. But each object it looks like something. So we need to give it a sprite to look like something. So sprites are basically like an image. So we'll name this one S, lowercase s, and then player. The reason I'm naming everything lowercase s and then uppercase the next word is because I'm using a naming technique called camel case. So basically, the first word is lowercase, and then the next words that come after, the first letter is uppercase. So, like for example, camel, and then it would be case. And then if I want to add like box or something, I'd uppercase the first letter, or track, I don't know. But yeah, that's why I'm doing that. So let's edit the image. So this is the sprite editor. This is where you draw. You can also fill things in with this. You pick colors with this. And you can draw pretty much anything you want with this. But we are gonna use pre-used sprites from Undertale. Well, we're actually gonna do it from Deltarune. But if you want to use it from Undertale, it's the same sort of process. So first you go to this website, the sprite resource, and then you search the sprite you want. So I'm gonna get Chris from Deltarune. If you want Frisk, just look up Undertale, and then yeah. So we're gonna scroll down all the way to the bottom until we see game results, and then Deltarune. So I'm gonna pick Chris, and then here we go. This is every single Chris sprite in the entire game, which is a lot, but it's okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save the image by right-clicking, save image as, yeah. Then we're gonna go over to Gamemaker, and then on the sprite editor, we're gonna go over to image, import strip image, and then we're gonna pick the one with Chris. If you wanted to get Frisk, you can just look up Undertale. Go to the bottom, Undertale, Frisk. He's boom. Yeah, I already have it, but it's the same process. You just download it. You just look up Undertale instead and then get Frisk. Okay, anyways. This is it. This is the entire sprite sheet, and what we want to do is we want to grab these 4 sprites, because these 4 sprites make an animation. They make the walking down animation. So these are 4 frames. We're gonna do number of frames. Frames per row, 4. And then the height and width. I actually don't know. I think we kind of just have to guess for this one. Okay, so I found that. It's 19 by 38. So, yeah. And then we're gonna go over here and do horizontal separation, and then move that up a few pixels, and then there we go. Now see how the white boxes are covering each 4 of the Chris sprites? Cool. So if you're doing Frisk, it's basically the same thing. You just have to mess around with the width and the height until it matches each Frisk sprite. So I'm just gonna press convert, and then yes, and then here we go. We have each sprite. Except you can see that we have this like weird pink stuff on the sides. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to this tool, the magic wand tool, or you can just press W, and then you click on the pink stuff, and then you press delete on your keyboard, and then just do that for all the pink stuff on all the other frames too, and then yeah. Okay, so now if we, oh, that's fast. Okay, so let's go back to the workspace, which is you just click on the tab, and then let's change the frames per second to 9, and then that's way better. Except I forgot a pink in one spot, so let's delete that. Cool. Okay, now we're gonna name this S player down because they're looking down. And then we're gonna duplicate this and call this one S player up. And now for S player up, we're gonna go to edit image, and first strip image, and then this one. And then we're gonna go over to see how there are 4 sprites for going up. We're just gonna click. So if you click, you can just drag these around the white boxes and then convert. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's get the magic wand again and remove all the pink. Oops. There we go. So now that's up. Now we're gonna do the same thing for right and left. So right. That looks good. Okay. And we're gonna do the same for the left, except I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so it goes faster. Okay, so I finished. Now we have all the directions, and now we can go over to the object, and then give it a sprite by hitting the no sprite, sprites, and then we're gonna do down. Cool. So, now we're gonna go an event, and create. And then we're gonna hit GML code. Okay, so basically the create event, this code runs when the game starts, when this object is created. So the best thing to do, well, one of the things people do in the create event is they create variables. So imagine a variable, here, hold on. Imagine a variable like a box. Each box will hold a certain thing. So, for example, of this variable, we're gonna call it box. It equals grass. So basically, imagine there's grass in the box, and box equals grass, and then the box's name will be grass box. Sorry, that's a little bit confusing, except I think you'll be able to get it, because it's basically, this is a box and it equals grass, and this is a box named box and it has grass. Okay, so I'm gonna create a few variables. So first we're gonna create x speed equals 0. So this is gonna be your x speed if like the x coordinate, and then this is gonna be, I'll explain later. And this is gonna be y speed. This is gonna be your move speed. So this will be basically how fast you move. This will be like where, like how where on the x coordinate you're moving. Like it basically just equals how far you should be going, right? When like, yeah. Anyways, it's like that, yeah. Okay, we're just gonna hit don't ask for this project because we're only using GML code. Okay, so this basically just gives everything a description. So we're just gonna call this a step event. I'm talking about this, by the way. See how it gives it a description? You can put anything in here. I'm not gonna put anything in here. It doesn't affect the code in any way. You can put anything in these comments. It's just for helping you know what you're doing. I'm just gonna put movement because that's what I'm doing. It's basically like a description for what you're doing. It's a thing that you add that doesn't change your code at all, but it just helps you know what you're doing. And for this, I'm gonna be doing movement. The step event basically just runs code at every single frame. So, for example, this game that we're making is 60 frames per second, so this code's gonna be running 60 times a second. Okay. So what we're gonna do is create a few variables. So we need to register so what we're basically gonna be doing is making Chris, or the player, move around the room with our arrow keys. But first we need to write out our arrow keys. So basically what we're doing is just creating a variable with a key. And there it is. So up key equals keyboard check. So we're gonna do it for all directions of the key. Yeah, all directions. Okay. I'm just gonna copy this so I can left. I know this isn't the most efficient order, but yeah, probably making sense to go like that. Okay. There. So now basically we just stated all the keys, and now actually the comment movement doesn't really fit here. Let's add it here. Okay. So now we're going to basically move our player across the room. So we're setting X speed, which is, do you remember, it's the speed that we're going on the X-axis. So what we're going to do, I'll explain in a minute, but we're going to be doing okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm setting X speed to right key subtracted by the left key. So every time you press a key, it basically equals 1. So if we press the left key would equal 1. Otherwise, it would just equal 0. So if we don't press the left key, it'll equal 0. If we press it, it'll equal 1. So, it's the same thing for all the other keys. So if we're pressing the right key, that would be 1. And if we're pressing the left key, that would be 1. So if we're pressing both the right key and the left key, we won't move at all, because that will equal minus 1 and 0. But if we're not pressing the left key and we're pressing the right key, then it's 1 minus 0. So then it's 1 times the move speed. So then our speed is 1 on the x-axis. But if we're on the right key, 0. If we don't press it, then it's 0, and then if we press the left key, then it's 1. So then it's 0 minus 1, so negative 1. And then, so it's, our x speed is negative 1. And then it's the same thing for this. So that's what we're doing, and that moves us the correct direction with our arrow keys. So now we actually need to move. So we're just gonna do x plus equals x speed, and y plus equals y speed. There we go. Now we need to actually put our player, into the game. So this right here is our room. So this is where all the objects live, like I explained before. And we're just gonna put the player here. The current resolution's not the same as Undertale right now, so let's change it. So we have to go over to room, we have to click room, and then we're gonna go over to here, viewport and cameras, then viewport 0, and then enable viewports. Oh wait, no, don't. Maybe? Hold on. Okay, yeah, enable viewports. Then we're gonna set this to 320 by 240. And then that should be the same as Undertale's, if I recall correctly. And then, so this basically is just the resolution of the game, and then this upscales this to be a bigger window so that we can actually see. Because this, right, if we left it like this, it would be incredibly small and we wouldn't really be able to see it. So we're just gonna, this basically just upscales it. Okay, so for object following, we're gonna follow OPlayer, because what we want is for the camera to follow the player. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we're gonna set the horizontal border to 320 by 240. And so that basically just means that it'll follow it'll make it basically, when it follows the player, it'll be centered on the player at all times, unless it goes to the edge of the room, then it'll get stuck behind. You'll see. It'll make sense when you look at it. Okay, so right now, I guess you can't really see that we're moving. So what I'm gonna do, is we're gonna create a new object. But first we need to create a new sprite. Sorry. I'm gonna call this S-wall. And in S-wall, we're gonna make the most ugly wall. This is very temporary, and we'll change this later, but this is for now. That is hideous, but that's okay, because this is temporary. Now an object wall. Oh, we need to make object wall. Okay, so we need to make an object for the sprite. So O wall, and then in the sprite, we're just gonna go to sprites, and then S wall. Okay, cool. That's it. Now I just need to go to O player, and then so basically what we need to do is we need to make it so that the player won't run into the wall. We just need to add collision, so like it won't go through the wall, because that's unrealistic. So here we need to over here. Oh wait, no, we need to do it in between these two. Okay, so I'm just gonna say collision, and we're gonna make the code. So I'll explain this in a second. Let me just type it out. We're gonna do if place meeting x plus x speed y, and then O wall. And then I'm gonna create another one. Oh wait, no, we can just here. Put x speed equals 0. Then we can just copy this again, then set this to y speed, and then set this to like that, and then delete that, and then x comma like that. Perfect. So if that was a little bit complicated, but I think we got it. Okay. So basically what this does is this returns true. So this is an if statement. So basically an if statement runs code if it's true. So right now this is checking if we're about to move into the wall, and if so, set our speed to 0 so we don't walk into the wall. And it's doing the same for the y speed. So basically it's just saying if we're going towards the wall on the x-axis or going towards the wall on the y-axis, just stop moving. And so basically, yeah, what this is doing is just adding speed. So if we're moving, then stop us. And if we're, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be. But basically, this is the place meeting function. Basically what it does is it returns true if you're running into a wall, and false if you're not. So basically this only happens if it's true. This only happens if it's true. It doesn't happen if it's false. Cool. So let's press play and see if it, oh wait, no, never mind. We never added the wall. So see this? This is the wall. We can add this, move it around. A useful feature is you can hold down Alt and then like draw the room. I think that's pretty cool. That's good enough. And now let's test it. So we can move around. And that seems pretty good. And we can't walk into the wall. Nice. Okay. I have one last thing to add. Well, actually, no, we have two things left to add. First, we need to go to S player, down, and then set the origin to middle center. And do the same for every single sprite. I know that's a lot, but basically what it's doing is it's setting its axis point, like it's setting its origin to the center. And you'll see if the camera centers itself on the origin. So right now, before it was on the corner, and so it was centered on the corner of the player, but we want it to be in the center of the player. And now it should be better. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, so now our final thing is we're gonna add the animations. So, okay. Just gonna go animate right here. And then basically we're gonna check if we're moving right, and then set our sprite to be the right sprite. And then if we're going left, set the sprite left, up, set the sprite to up, yeah, etc. So let's do that. So we're checking if we're going up, right. If so, set our sprite to right. Basically, what sprite index is it's what sprite we currently are. Like, what sprite is this? This is like what sprite this is. And then so basically we're changing what sprite this is to something else. We're changing it to asterisk right. Now we're gonna do else if. So basically what else if means is this only runs if this is not true, and if this is true. So if this is false and this is true, then this will run, which will be asterisk left. And then let's copy this, paste. Then now we're going to set this to Y, this to Y, and then we're going to go up, and then frisk down, frisk up. Oh wait, I've been saying frisk this whole time, except it's been player this whole time. My bad. Sorry about that. It's supposed to be player. So yeah. So basically it's just saying if it's right, set it to right. If it's left, set it to left, etc. Cool. Now we need to check if it's moving, make the animation keep on going, but if it's not moving, make it stop. So we're gonna say if x speed is not equal. Oh, this means not equal, by the way. So or y speed not equal to 0. So this will run if x speed is not equal to 0 or y speed is not equal to 0. So if either of them aren't equal to 0, then this will run. So image speed will equal to 1. So image speed is basically just how fast the animation is going, and 1 is what it normally is. So it would be 9 frames per second with image speed of 1. So else, we'll set image speed to 0 and image index to 0. And that should be it. Basically what we're doing is we're just... Oh, index means what frame of the animation. The first animation is 0. So we're just setting it to the first animation, which is the idle animation. So, yeah. Now we're gonna play. And then see how we're not animating or anything, and now when we move, yeah, and then, and it works pretty well. Okay, anyways, that's the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, and the next episode will add stuff like Chris's room, and just different rooms, which will be pretty cool. Yeah, see you in the next episode. Please subscribe, like the video, yeah, stuff like that. Okay, bye.